How you know? You checked it?
I did.
Oh,
Hey y'all.
hey. We was checking to see if we had the chat.
We got the chat back. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey.
Hello, beautiful people. We are back for another unscripted beautiful life
Hold on.
with yours truly, Katrina, Miss Beautiful Henderson,
Hey y'all.
and her trusty dusty sidekick,
Not trusty Dusty.
Mr. Mr. Beautiful. You're beautiful. Who's used to sing that song, baby?
Mm,
You checking the sound quality?
yeah. So
Mic check, mic
thank.
check.
Oh, I didn't check this out. We good. Um, we were supposed to have a guest, Yolanda Brunson, but there was an emergency that came up. So if you all can just keep her and her son in prayers, we would greatly appreciate it. We will figure out another time for when she can come on. Um, but we are still going to continue the topic on the power of relationships, in terms of having support and just in terms of just having support. So this will be kind of like, this is part one with us, and then when Yolanda is able to join us, we will go into more detail about support relationships, or what she always says, creating sparkling relationships. So that's what the conversation is tonight, well, for us
So
anyway.
it is. Say it one more time.
The power of
Relationships,
power support, I think I put.
power support of
We talking
relationships.
about supporting relationships, so however that looks for you, however that looks for us.
So of course, I always start with a question
Hmm.
because I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page. So we're on the same page. Supporting
Hold
other
on. Mhm.
other people's relationship or
It could be
supporting
wherever you
wherever
want
you
to
want to.
go.
Oh,
In
man,
this,
shoot,
this our show.
yo,
This our show.
you see, man, I am greasy.
You are not.
Okay.
So, yeah. So we this is it. This can be how either how we, because last week we talked about, what did we talk about last week? Oh, showing up, right? Us showing up individually. So now we're talking about, okay, what does it look like, after we have shown up and gotten in, created the relationships? What does support mean, right? What does it mean to be in a relationship? How do you show up when it comes to relationships?
First thing, you should be in a relationship with yourself.
Yep,
That's
gotta be.
first and foremost. And then you have to have the utmost relationship with the man upstairs.
That's first and
That first
foremost.
and foremost. I should have said that one
Yeah.
first. But you got to have that relationship first. Have that connection. Um, I always tell my side, my story, that life was a lot more rocky when I was not giving all praises to God Himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the relationship was rocky. My mental for sure was rocky. So one thing that I noticed is that I had a lot of um, negative thoughts, negative feelings, a lot of negativity was around me. And as I started getting myself back closer to God, the relationship with Him, everything else started just unfolding and working itself out a lot better. Of course, it's never an end. There's never an end game with it or an end moment. You have to continue every day to try to be better than you were yesterday.
Right.
So I mean, it's just me speaking life into life. I have to keep positive. I try to cast out and block out negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative people. That's our biggest and to me hardest thing is getting rid of those negative people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we said it before. Leaves fall. Fall comes around for a reason. To get rid of those leaves that's unnecessary to grow new leaves. So and then the funny thing is, after that leaf falls on the ground, that leaf never is able to return back to that tree.
Right.
But us as humans, We tend to do that sometimes. We know this person may be a negative person and we cast them out for a little bit, but then we allow them to come back in thinking of it's gonna be a different outcome. Sometimes it's it's gonna be the same thing. And what they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, hoping and thinking for better results. Man, it's kind of like that when it comes to our relationships and casting out negative folks. When they're gone, sometimes they gotta be gone. No.
Yeah, no, I was thinking because I think we do have to let those relationships go, but I think we have to first seek clarity on whether we supposed to let them go, right? Because
Absolutely.
sometimes we may be in a relationship because God needs us to be the example that that person needs. But we also have to be mindful like, okay, is this a hostile relationship, right? Is this a negative thing where every time you're in it, every time you have a conversation, your energy is drained, right? You just feel so down. It's just a whole bunch of negativity. Then those are the ones you have to let go. So I think you have to just kind of evaluate your relationship. And it's funny that we're talking about this because one of the exercises that we're doing tomorrow in Beautifully You with the girls is evaluating the relationships, and we're looking at, is this a green relationship, so one that we should enter into, right? The ones that we know support us, we support them. Is this a yellow one? So okay, let's take caution. Maybe we need to evaluate things, seeing how it needs to go. Do we slow things down? Do I need to, just be mindful? And then, is this a red relationship? Like, no, this is one that I need to completely cut off. And it's like we as adults have to do that too, right? Because sometimes I think, especially our youth, because of that need of wanting to fit in, social media has a bad influence on a lot of stuff. I think people enter into relationships or do things into relationships and friendships for the clout of the likes, the comments,
Hmm.
all of those different things. When the teens never truly sit down and evaluate, is this a good relationship that I should put myself in?
Like,
Right? Is this person going to, call and ask me, hey, let's go rob a bank? Or do something negative. And I think if you don't really sit down and take the time to get to know somebody without the cameras,
hmm,
then you can't really determine, is this a green, yellow, or red relationship, because you've never taken the time to invest.
right.
And it's like, if we can teach the youth, hey, beautiful, if we can teach the youth that you need to invest in your relationships, then as they get older, right, they've learned the tools and the tricks that they need to know to be able to say, okay, when I get into like really serious relationships and
Hmm.
friendships, that they can carry those tools on with them, and they won't be sitting back like us trying to figure out, like, what did I just get myself into?
And the biggest thing, as I was hearing you say this as you speaking with the teens, right? It's very hard for us as adults and parents to expect our kids to go one way, but if they see our relationship in turmoil. So
Yeah.
how can they ever? And this is why how we have to lead by example sometimes. So I always tell Nick, man, I've showed y'all some wrong ways of handling certain things. So it's now my job is to reverse that. And it's going to take a lot more work than it is if I would have just done it from the beginning. But you
Hmm.
can't never give up. You can't give up because if you want it to change, then you have to just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and it will change. Everything will change when you're constantly pushing the positive, pushing the positive, pushing the positive. Um, it'll get to a point where it's just secondhand. It's like first nature. Like, why are you always so positive? Because what do I have? Why do I need to be negative?
Hmm.
What has life done to me to say, man,
Hey,
I'm just
Brina.
gonna be negative? Because I always say in any situation, whether it's good or bad, right? If it's a bad situation, I always say it could be worse. It can be worse. That's my whole thing. Whenever something happens, I just look at it and say, dang, thank you, God, for it not being worse than it is. Because some people have it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then, even if you think that you have it bad, trust me, somebody may have it just as worse. So be grateful for that. For that. Be grateful for your relationship. Don't run away from it unless it's an abusive one. It's a physical abuse, a mental abuse, uh, like communication.
Yeah. Hey Tiff, if y'all are just joining us, Yolanda had an emergency, so she's not able to join us tonight, but she will be on. We're going to reschedule and bring her back. So, but thank y'all for joining us.
Right.
Um, where did my train of thought just go? And I forgot. Keep talking. It'll come back.
um, so this power of relationships, and we, like I said, we always say this is not just marriage relationship because we have people on here that aren't married. So this is for all relationships.
So I'll share this. I think one of the hardest things that I had to learn in my relationships was allowing people in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being vulnerable and understanding that I had to open up and share with others, right? Because I think we as women in particular, no, everybody, men too, try and go on, this Superman, this Superman, Superwoman complex of we can do it all. I don't need anybody else. Um, type of thing. And so in that, when we do need support, when we do need help, because we're like, nah, I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
We won't call on anybody. And I'm guilty. Like
I do it all the
I
time.
am admitting this on, y'all on here, y'all know me. Like I will not, because I feel like, okay, I can handle this, or two, I don't want to put the burden on somebody else. But then I realized that I'm making the assumption
Mm-hmm. For
that it's
somebody
going
else.
to be a burden,
Yeah.
right? I'm making the assumption that that person doesn't have time. Hey, Janelle, that person doesn't have time for me, when all it takes is like, oh, hey, you got a minute to talk. And if they say no, then good.
Right.
I'm calling, figuring out something else, or
Yep.
like, let's talk later. But I have to, and this is one of the biggest thing I know God is working on, is like, yes, you can do it. Yes, I'm equipping you to do it, but you still need people to help you and
Mm-hmm.
support you, because you can't do the assignment on your own,
Right.
right?
Right.
You can't carry you through, even if you just need somebody to pray with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you are trying to pursue purpose and pursue the assignment, like, the attacks are going to come. And so you need somebody that's going to be able to stand in the gap and be like, listen,
Oh, shoot.
I got you
I'm
covered.
ricocheting some of those.
Right.
Wow, get
Like,
off.
I'm here to help you. And I think that's the thing that we have to let go of and realize, like, no matter how much we think we can do it without anybody else, God created there to be relationships. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Eve was created for Adam, right? There's community is big with him. It's about,
Yep.
create and
He didn't
multiply, like
create
all
one
of those
person.
things. Like, we were not made to be by ourselves. And so, there's that thing, women can't get along. I'm not going to, I want to, that's that whole stigma thing, right? And you just like, oh, I've heard that I can create better relationships with men than I can women because it is catty, right?
Yeah.
But that just means you haven't found the right one,
Yep.
right? You
Because
haven't
everybody's
gone,
not the
not
same.
everybody is the same. And I think we have to remove all the walls and the negative roadblocks that we've created for ourselves, and be like, okay, I'm going to try. If it doesn't work, oh
Oh well.
well,
I
you
could move on.
tried, right? And so God, that's one of the things, is like, we're not meant to do this by
Yeah.
ourselves.
We weren't meant to be alone. We weren't created to be alone. Um
Tip said, I go hard in the paint. Yes, son. Yes.
yes. And look, that was the first thing I kind of chuckled when she said it.
And
Um
Janelle said it too. She's guilty to try and doing it. Because I think we just like, nah, I got, like,
I got this.
but I think because there was this, I don't, seed that gets planted in us. Like, if we call on others, that means it's a sign of weakness, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's not. And I think that's the thing that we have to let go. Like, it's not a weakness to say I need help.
Mm-mm.
That's a strength if you turn
Yep.
it around the right way, because then you're going and saying, okay, I can depend on others to help me along the way. It's like at my old job, one of the things I will always tell my team, because I was never one to micromanage. I am going to sit down if I'm auditing cash. Hey, let me audit cash. You do revenue this time. Because I understood that in order for me to get to the next level, I have to bring the person underneath of me to get to the next level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Yep.
we're all
Each
climbing the
one
ladder
teach one.
together. Each one teach one. And it's kind of like if I can't, go to somebody and say, hey, I need your help. I don't understand it. They cannot look down on me because I'm coming for help. Like now it's become a strength, right? Because I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable. Thank you, Miss Janice. That I'm allowing to be vulnerable, and I'm going to them and be like, okay, I can't do it by myself. We're not meant to
Mm-mm.
do it by ourselves. It's not gonna work. You can't build a bridge by yourself. Like you
Nope.
need at least two people, right? Or whatever.
No, you don't need a crew
You need a whole crew.
to build a bridge. But every point that you said, and it's funny
I can't
because
believe I'm still drinking out this. I need a new mug because I'm still, y'all. It's a Christmas little mug. Like I'm
that's her
still
favorite mug. She don't
it
use
because
nothing else.
it's the biggest
Biggest
one I
one.
got.
Yep. As you were saying, that you may at work, you may sit down and delegate, right? Say, I need you to help me with this. I need you to help me with that. I have that problem at work where I try to do everything
We
because
all do,
because it's like this. I know it'll get done
and that's the
because
thing.
I'm gonna do it. But we have to be vulnerable, and sometimes we have to delegate certain tasks and certain things for others for them to grow.
That's the biggest key right there. Because if we can delegate to others, then that person is allowed the opportunity to learn, to grow, make mistakes. Yes, they may
They're
get
gonna make a
they
mistake.
gonna make
They're
mistakes.
supposed to.
But now you got to turn that around and look at, okay, how can I lean into them to help them say, okay, next time you come across this, this is what you need to do. You're going to gain so much more respect from that employee because you took the time to say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this is where you went wrong, or this is what we need to do next time. That the next time you need something from them, they can be like, oh, I
I
remember
got you.
when.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I
I
mean?
gotta move now because she did this. Now, one thing I do have a pet peeve with is the way my name is spelled. We have to ban somebody for a second, and you can come back. We're gonna put you in timeout.
That was a auto correct. Don't even try.
We're gonna put you, I'll put you in timeout for a minute. But no, no, it's all good. Um,
You over here laughing. You ain't right.
yeah, no, no. Everybody spells my name wrong.
Jen,
Everybody.
hold on. Let me put what Jay said up here because I love this.
Uh huh.
She said, when I shifted what I was looking for women, I found it what I need. And that's so key because half the time we don't know what we need, right?
Yeah, we don't.
And like we don't know what we need until we find it. And then when we
Yeah.
find it,
Yeah.
it's like,
Hey, where you
oh,
been at my whole life?
right. Like I found what I didn't know I needed. And that's what a good support. Don't worry about
Yeah.
this. Don't listen to
Yeah,
him.
you heard me.
Do
I was
not
just playing.
listen to
I
him.
was just playing.
That's the unscripted part of this. Don't need to. But that's the thing we gotta understand. It's like when we find community, when we find genuine support, like it feels so
Man.
good to know that somebody has your back, right? That somebody is there to help you, support you. And I think, oh, I'll bring that up later. No, I got it now. One of the lessons that I had to learn, and we may have talked about this in here a couple of times, is defining what support means for each of us.
Mm,
Because what I give as support to others may not be what somebody else's support can
could
give for
be. Yeah.
me, right?
Yep. Can't
Because
go tit for tat
you
type of thing.
can't, it's not tit for tat. Like just the way I show up for others may not necessarily be the same way the others show
Yes.
up for me.
Yep.
And that was a thing I had to learn a couple months ago, maybe a couple days ago, Tiffany. Like just saying, stop assuming that people are going to know how I need support,
Right.
right? I need to be specific. I need to open up and say, this is what I need. versus just assuming that somebody knows what I
They already
need.
know, like they read your mind.
Like they read my
Yeah. Oh,
they're
you walking
not
around with it on your chest,
right.
like
Like I
this is what I
know,
need.
right. Like I know we've got prophetic people in our relations, the ones that directly hear from God
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. And so a lot of times God may drop in us in their spirit, what it is we need, but not everybody can do
Nah,
that.
everybody's
And
not
so
that inclined, in
in
touch.
tune.
Yeah, in tune. All of those things, man, because God will talk and do things differently through everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But again, is you have to have a relationship with him for him to be able to for you to be able to receive.
Yeah.
Because even though you may not have a relationship with him, he talking to you, but you can't. You're so clouded. You're so clouded that you can't hear it. So that's why you got to get back in tune.
Man, it's amazing how that Tylenol sinus done open my sinus. I can breathe through my nose. Y'all, I'm sorry. I digress. I just realized like I can breathe through my nose now.
Oh, almost fell out the
Your
chair,
allergies are kicking in, and
man.
I'm like I'm suffering because I'm like I just got over a cold, and then this ain't the cold. This is allergy. So I'm grateful for that.
I'm just gonna say
We digress. I'm
we,
sorry.
we I'm gonna probably be on the same thing next week because I'm back out there with my soccer program, as y'all see, back out there doing what we do and having fun with it. But and that's another thing is
Hold on.
put it up there.
She said you gotta put it in neon lights and in all caps. Tiffany, I'm listen. That is one of I'm gonna say that's my weakness. I know because I desire the support. I want the support, but I won't tell others how I need the support. And I know that's a thing. And I think that's why God is having me go through what I'm going through, just because I'm like, I need to.
But that's that being vulnerable again.
Tiff, I didn't do that thing yet. I gotta go back to that video you sent me. Um, no, it's just I think Sabrina, I've been doing my oils. I even got him going in the classroom. It's
She
just
won't drink no won't eat my sea moss that I get though.
ew, no, I'm not
Yeah,
doing that.
she won't.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I got a buddy that give me that good sea moss, and I came home with it. She gave me that look,
I'm
and
not
I
doing that.
went gave me a quick spoonful, quick one. Wow, let me get that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say acquired taste, but it's an
Oh, it's
acquired
a quiet
texture.
say. It's this
Texture.
it's that's what it is. I think
It's a
for me, it's
texture.
knowing what it looked like beforehand, and then
And you don't eat
I
seaweed.
that's what I'm saying because I know what it is.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing it. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it.
Sorry, we dumping out,
Yeah,
but
sorry, y'all. That was the well, we're going back to our regularly scheduled program. But I think so for me, that was a learning thing for me is and still is because it's not I'm not gonna get it. I mean, it's learning right every day. But just saying,
we're not perfect. We only ask you to be better every day, right?
yes. Oh, you're
Uh
allergic. What now? How do you find out you was allergic to it?
she probably ate some
Tiff,
sushi.
I'm not doing the sea moss. I am
Yeah,
not.
see, put it in a smoothie.
I'm not.
She won't even know. If I put it in there, she won't even know.
Okay, I might try it and
With
ew.
jellyfish.
Now see, that's exactly why I'm not doing it now. I'm not doing it now.
Hey, no way she said that. No.
Tip, my mind went completely somewhere else.
Yeah, because how she spelled it. Of course. She didn't have to slip out it that way.
I'm not going there with y'all.
I'm gonna make her a smoothie for the morning.
Don't
She
you?
won't even know. Cause Nick already asked me because
We don't have
he
no more almond milk.
oh dang. Man, I had to go to the store.
It's the
Oh,
iodine.
okay. Makes sense.
Oh, my mom is allergic to iodine, so I wonder.
I thought it was sulfur. Or
Oh,
was
it
it
is sulfur.
okay. Yeah. Oh man, you see how unscripted go. We could sit here all day.
Oh, so that's what he was for.
I, I knew it because of how she spelled it. I knew it.
Tiff.
Now you don't. Now I don't want to eat it. But no, the very first time this texture is this time is totally different.
What's defined different?
Okay, the first time it was more like applesauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time
It's
it's like
smoother.
no, it's like tofu. Yeah,
You know, I'm
it's
good.
it's it's a lot more solid.
Ew,
Yeah,
I'm definitely not
it's a
eating that.
lot more solid. But after I looked at the benefits of it and everything, I was like, man, I gotta do it. Oh, I got a doctor's appointment on the 20th.
I'll take y'all word for it, but I just can't. I'll find another way. What
Yeah.
I was saying.
Oh no, we got all the way off.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, y'all
yeah.
can't see. Oh, Sabrina, she
No,
on
she
YouTube, and so I thought y'all could see the comments over here. But she cutting up. I thought y'all could see the comments when she posts them.
yeah. Yeah, because Tiffany definitely be jumping on different platforms on this. Somebody looking for you? Because you always jumping on different platforms. But so going back, it's the relationship with God is first and foremost. Once you start to work on that, once you
This
st- once you
Janelle
start to
said
work on
for
that, mama
mumble
so yeah, that's what,
Tiff, you are absolutely correct. Now you can't see your mind too.
yeah, no, no,
Now every time you put a spoonful in
nope.
your
Nah,
mouth.
I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not gonna think about it because I'm gonna get my benefits. I'm gonna get my benefits. I want my doctors to be like, okay, what are you doing? Keep up the good work.
Goodness.
um,
Mm.
so once you get that relationship going strong and heavy, then you can start to work on self. That all we always say this. It's hard to love someone when you don't know how to love yourself first. We just gonna go on this, stay on this topic.
No, no, but no, I think you're right. I think you think I think you think it's initially right. It does start out. It's a relationship with self,
Hmm.
but then as you develop your relationship, you accept him as your savior. That then God becomes the bigger part of who you are. The bigger relationship, and in the relationship that you have with him, that's who you define who. That's how you determine who you are.
Hmm.
And so the relationship or idea of the relationship that you have yourself can change because of who he's created you to be.
Hmm. Finding
And
that
so
purpose.
finding a purpose and saying, okay, God, today I'm going to, help me to forgive. And what does that look like? Or help me to believe, help me to have confidence. And so it's like the dynamic starts changing, and then you could get to the point where you think you know yourself. And then God starts shining that light and
Yeah.
be like, nah, let's deal with this little crevice right
Hmm.
here. Because it's like, who we said it last week, I think. Um, no, I posted when Alicia was saying, and I had mentioned to her, it was like, I thought I knew who I was. And Alicia said, you know who you are for the level that you were on, but not for the level that you're getting ready to go. And so that's where the relationship that we have with self, there's a continuing evolution, because the more we learn about ourselves through God's
Hmm.
eye, the more that we get to see from his eyes. Right? It's like, how you always say, I wish I could take my eyeballs out so you can see. It's
Hmm.
just like that. Like God is always saying, I need you to
See
see
me as I see
you
you.
as I see
Yep.
you.
Yep.
And I think that's when he allows the different situations that we come across, the different people that we encounter, so that we honestly get like a wake up call almost to say, I need you to truly see who I've created you
Yep.
to be. Because when we can know that, y'all, we are like unstoppable.
Man, and
Like
it's
we
a
may rock a
crazy,
little
yeah,
bit, but
crazy force.
yeah.
Crazy force. And I love telling my story because how I second guessed him for so long and just upset. Um, I mean, so many things was going on. But then as I sat back and I started to look at it, and I'm like, man, is he talking to me? Is he telling me to get myself together? Yes, that's how I took it. And I till this day, I honestly say I believe that's exactly what was going on because there's no escaping when he calls you. Once he calls you, whether it's calling you home, it's calling you for your assignment, no matter what it is. Once he calls you, you have to go forth with it. It's you can't.
No, go away. Go make your
Yeah,
smoothie. No.
you've been rooting it.
What you were saying?
I don't know because he just got an attitude for being rude, and I don't like that. But uh, um, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Trying to get back on my thoughts. What was I saying, buddy? Help me out. Oh, second guessing them. But as I started to shift and I understood, it's like, now what's my assignment? Now what's this? Now what's that? And I definitely feel as though I know what the assignment is now. And once I got back on track of things, I'm telling you, it's been a lot smoother.
Okay, so let me ask you this from your perspective. What's the assignment?
What's my assignment?
Mm-hmm.
Helping people. Um, and I mean I just sit there and go into like details and anything, but it's just helping people.
So can I say, from my perspective, you've always done that.
But I don't think I understood my assignment at the time.
I think that's the key
Yeah.
with everything is we think that our assignment is going to be this big thing or this big heavy task when if it's the thing that we always flow in naturally,
Yeah.
right? You got the gift of gab, you got the gift of people. And I think, if we like it's like you got to realize like, oh, that's it. Like that's the thing I've always been good
Hmm.
at. That's the thing that I've always um walked in. I've always, if you like, I've always been the people person. You've always been the people person, right? Even during the times when you were sitting on the football field in the middle of the field, right? Like even in those negative moments, you have still always been the people person. So you've always been walking in your gift and your assignment, but maybe you never really
Just
realized
not
that that's what
understanding.
not understanding.
Because and so that's where I would say that I didn't have a relationship with God enough to understand my assignment.
Makes sense.
Because you said like you're telling me this that I've always been in it, right? But I didn't understand it. So some people could really be walking there as an assignment and they don't even know it.
And
They
I
have
think
no clue.
but I think that's the beautiful thing about the relationship that we create with God,
Hmm.
because he is going to tell you one way or another, the thing you've been running from,
Yeah.
the thing that you don't think is maybe big enough, like for me, the whole the not being able to see myself as beautiful, and I'm like, oh, that's the thing I gotta walk in now and understanding, oh, but God, how I'm gonna tell somebody else she's beautiful if I had times when I don't
Right.
feel beautiful? And it's just that's the thing, that a lot of times the thing that you often struggle with is the thing that God is going to call you to for others, right? And so it's just understanding, like, when you're thinking about your purpose and when you're thinking about the assignment, like, It doesn't have to be this big
Look, science fair
thing.
project, right?
Right. It's just like, okay, just try this, try that. If that don't work, if that don't stick, like most oftentimes the thing that you will do free of charge, that's the gift. That's the assignment right there.
Yeah, because I
Because you do it with passion, you do it with heart, and you like, I can do this in my sleep.
and I and I mean, again, this I guess this is why I took the jobs that I've always taken, is because I get paid to do what I enjoy. So my hobby,
That's the reward.
I get to get paid for my hobby. And
Yep.
I have something on my face. Tripping.
That's the gray hair.
Oh, go ahead.
That's the that's the reward, right? Like it's the reward of you walking in your purpose and walking in your assignment. The paycheck is the reward
Yeah,
for you saying yes.
thank you. As I mean, I, I mean, I understand it now because, like you said, I shifted my perspective of life.
Hmm.
I don't see anything negative anymore. I'm honestly really trying not to have any negative thoughts, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm perfect and positive, positive. It's I still fight those times where I'm like, man, I just want to punch you right in your nose, but I don't do it. So just a quick little thing, right?
Hmm.
Trina is still she's growing with me as well because little situation happened, and she said that she was like, "Why didn't you get up?" And I'm sitting there like, "That ain't even me no more.
Oh,
That ain't even me no more." But then you seen how I got
thanks,
him to
Tim.
bring himself down, you know, and now as I'm sitting there and I'm engaging with him and I'm able to get him to bring himself down, I'm like, dang, got this. Because he was able to, I mean, like when I say it was about to be firecrackers flying, that we were there.
I think, not I think, I know that a God allows and orders our steps the way that He does, because whatever we go through is for the next person that's crossing our path. And so when we wondering like, God, why am I not patient? Why I'm not this, why I'm not that, then you may encounter someone and it's almost like a reflection
Oh,
of yourself and somebody else. And either that reflection is um a reminder, not even a reminder, but like a
eye
red
opener.
eye opener, thank
Yeah.
you, that, oh, you need to go back, you need to fix this, or it's an eye opener to say, I need you to support so and so that's
Yeah.
crossed your path. And I think that's the thing, is when we look in our relationships, sometimes, we want relationships to work, but they also run their course.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I didn't understand that until going into, why did I just jump to that all of a sudden? Because now I'm thinking about it, that really didn't flow with what I was saying at first. Um, but I think when we're thinking about, our relationships, going back to the green, red, and yellow situations, a lot of times we can try and, want relationships to work, um, but their time is expired. It's like when I think about the relationships, like how Kayla is so finicky about the expiration dates on products. Like, y'all, we could have something in the refrigerator or the medicine cabinet that expired yesterday. And she like, oh, we got, it's time to throw this out. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere,
Like, cause you ain't bought nothing up in
you
this.
ain't
Like, go
born nothing up
sit
in
down.
here. You talking about, but when we think about relationships and expiration dates, like how many of them have we stayed in that are so
That's
expired and
right.
so overdue, and we don't want to get out of them
It's
because maybe we don't want to be alone,
yeah.
right? We think, oh, I need this person because I don't want to be alone. Well, maybe you need to get out of it because you do
You
need to be
need to be
alone.
alone. You might need to be alone.
somebody making popcorn?
That's the smoothie.
Oh, Cam is who's twin? Oh, Kayla's twin. Because of that. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, Tiff. I'm like, girl, go sit down somewhere.
Right. It could like literally a bag of chips. That joint could say March 24th, and it's March 25th, and it just hit it at 12 o'clock. She want to throw it in the trash.
I'm like, you ain't gotta eat it.
Man,
Listen. I'ma
I'm gonna
still
eat
eat it.
it.
It's going. They still work just fine. Might not be as potent, but they gonna still work. Do something.
I'm talking about food.
I know. I'm just saying anything in
Look,
general. If it don't have no base, come on, Chip. But
when I open the bag and I take that first bite, it ain't stale. I'm eating it. It could be a year old. I'm eating it.
no, sir.
Yeah, if it's not stale, I'm eating it. It's fine.
Sir.
I've done it, babe. Don't do it. I've done
Oh,
it.
MG, y'all pray for us over on this side.
Yeah,
But
sorry.
going back to relationships, I think we often will stay in a relationship just because, and um, there's that can be valid reasons, right? We don't want to be alone, what have you. But when a relationship ends, like you still have to process.
Yeah.
It's like you still have to. It's kind of like a grief that you got to go through. And I know this is probably it's deeper than what it needs to be. But I think sometimes when you think about relationships that have ended, they've expired, you know that like this is just dead. It's no more trying. Like it's just complete dead silence. That there is a potential that there is a grief period that you are going to go through because of that friendship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, because I'm like, you like, oh, this was supposed to be my road dog. And you're like, oh, I gotta forgive
Yeah.
for what? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like all of those different things. He said, "Iron, stop. Listen, Tiff, don't entertain him." She said, as soon as the solid date expires, that Bama can't eat salad.
Yeah. But yeah, no. We gotta hold on. Don't give up. Don't quit. Stay your course. Because at the end of the day, it will work. It's gonna work itself out. It will work itself out. And I'm talking relationships. Do you want them to work out? You have to figure those things out. What relationships are we going to get rid of?
Yeah, when's the last time y'all took an inventory of your relationships?
I know I haven't. I will.
Maybe I'll post the assignment that we're doing with the girls tomorrow. It's 3 columns, right? So I'll just tell y'all now. This your homework. You're going to take a piece of paper. You're going to create 3 columns. One column is going to be green. The middle column is yellow. The third column is red. And you're going to go and think about all of the relationships that you're in. Put those that are in, that support you, loving, like all of the good things that's in green. The ones that are kind of like, okay, we've got some rough moments, but at the end of the day, there's still love there. But it may be potentially, maybe it's nearing its course, or maybe there's some forgiveness or something that needs to happen. There's something that has to go on to either you determine, okay, there's something that we need to do to fix it so that it can move into the green, or we decide or you decide that no, this relationship is over and now I'm going to move into the
I'll
red.
move on.
So the red would be any relationship that when that person crosses your mind, that you just like your stomach hurts, your head hurts, you just get this nasty feeling. That's the red. You want to definitely eliminate those red relationships.
Get them out of here because it ain't gonna do nothing but continue. It may fester into your other
Right,
relationships.
right. Because you're trying to invest so much into these red things that you're
Your
forgetting
yellows,
the yellows or the
them
greens.
yellows turn to red, and
And
them reds, the greens turn to
yes,
yellows.
yes. And sit with however however your paper looks, right? Sit with the relationship that God identified. Go to God with that list and say, God, help me, help me
Help me.
figure out, help me, those yellows, help me figure out what needs to happen. Do they need to be green or do they need to be red? What can I do? What's needed? How it is. Because if we can really look at, y'all, it's a madhouse upstairs. We sitting here like, what is happening upstairs? At least
Because Nick's normally not here on the Tuesday.
yeah. But if you can sit and look at all of your relationships, you can decide, okay, am I long overdue, maybe for a conversation with somebody that's in the red, and be like, listen, this isn't working out for me. I'm going to now take myself out of it. It was been good, whatever it is. Because if we don't take an inventory of the relationships that we have,
Mhm.
you are going to continue burning the candle at both ends, because you're trying to hold on to a red relationship that's expired, but don't have the time, like you said, to invest in the
And your
relationships
greens
that are
or your
green,
yellows.
the positives.
Yep.
They feed your soul. Like, this is purpose. Like, they're tied to the assignment. Like, really sit and take an inventory on your relationships and come back and let us know. Let us know how it works.
And look, don't take it personal. That's my biggest thing that I say all the time. Do not take it personal. If you thinking that one of your reds and you thought it was a green, don't take it personal
Yeah.
and just let it be. Let it be, because I'm gonna tell you, you don't never see a tree hold on to no leaf, no tree, unless it's I'm trying to think of it, because when I was doing Camp Schmidt, there were three types of trees. So all your pines, they don't lose pines. They kind of stay there. They don't lose as many pine needles as if a leafy tree would. If you go look outside right now, we still still no leaves on the trees, right? But we don't have none on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be afraid to let these relationships go. Cause trust me, some of them don't even need to be around.
And the other thing too is the relationships that you're holding on to are taking up space for somebody
That's
that
somebody
really needs
else.
to be on the green
Right.
side.
And that's what I said. And that's what my kind of my point was, that
Cause how many
don't
times we gonna
invest
be
in
like, oh,
those
I don't
red.
need no new friends.
Right. Don't
But
invest in them
knowing,
reds.
right, we'll say that I don't need no new friends. But then God could be placing somebody that's tied to your assignment right here in your path. But because you don't need no new friends, you're not open up
You
to
done block
being
that
able to
door.
receive.
You done
Right.
you done shut a door and put a padlock on it because you said I don't need no new friends.
Yeah. Definitely don't take it personal.
Yeah. Cause again, that new friend that you receive might easily help you bump a red out real quick.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what? I don't even know this person as much as I know this person, but they already did this, and this, called me 4 or 5 times and asked me this, and this. I ain't heard from this person over here in 2 years, but I thought this was my road dog. And we don't have to talk to each other every day, but it don't hurt to send a text. Hey, everything good? Y'all all right? All right? Because I tell my men that I don't have friends anymore. Once you are in my circle, you now family. And because they say blood's thicker than water, right? Sometimes those friends be better than your blood for real.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say that, but that's just how it is. You can have people in your family that's your immediate family that don't like the way that you moving. They see you, they like, dang, Dre changed, Dre this, Dre that. But this is what I needed. I just said this to my to my cousin. I said, every day I thank God for allowing me to be able to receive my assignment, because I told her, I said, I don't know how I became the voice of reason. And she was like, all I do is thank God for it, because you're here. If I'd have kept going down the path that I was going, I might not have been here. It ain't got to
Mm-hmm.
be that I was killed by anything. It could have been my stress levels took me out. My my pressure, because I'm always angry and mad and yelling and screaming, that took me out. So um, I thank you. I'm gonna tell you right now, I thank you for allowing me to really see my assignment, even though I was already been already living it and doing it. But I could see it and understand it and fully embrace it because it's an amazing feeling.
I know that's right.
Yeah. So you ready?
Anything else?
Look, we're gonna duck that head down and talk about
Oh, I got duck this way.
calendar.
Listen, get y'all this way. Get y'all tickets. Get y'all tickets for beautifulencounter.com. It's going down June 13th to 14th. We've already announced two speakers. Dr. LaVon Shaw, she was with us 2 weeks ago, dealing with femininity, power. Um, then Yolanda Brunson, who was supposed to join us tonight, but we'll reschedule it. She is going to be talking about creating sparkling relationships, the power of support. So get your tickets. We will be announcing a new speaker next week as they join us live for a beautiful and not a beautiful encounter, an unscripted beautiful life. To get a sneak peek of what you can expect from them at a beautiful encounter. So get your tickets, a beautifulencounter.com. Listen, with what's going on in this world, everybody needs beautiful. So this is going to be the place to get it. So come on out, get your tickets. Um, what else? Um, Payment plans on the website. If you need an alternative payment plan system, please let me know. I have it. It's just not on the website. I'm only doing it for those that request it. So if you need it, let me know. It is available. Just send me an inbox, text, or email, whatever you need to do. Send smoke flags, do something. But it's out there. So beautifulencounter.com, June 13th to 14th, Alexandria, Virginia.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
We're gonna
Trust
have
me.
some fun.
We had a blast last year, and yeah, just looking for a 2 times blast this year.
Y'all have a good night. Do not forget to do your homework about looking at your relationships, green, yellow, and red. Which ones you need to release and which ones do you need to receive so that you are supported in all of the ways that you need to be supported. And talk to y'all tomorrow.
Peace out. Eat your sea moles.